Welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'll be giving you my Week 16 NFL game picks. Let's go, y'all. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hope everybody's having a great day. So first up, we have Washington at Tennessee. I'm going to go with Tennessee in this game. I think that Tennessee has a pretty good running game. I think the Washington season's over. They have some guys hurt. Colt McCoy's out. Maurice Harris is out with a concussion. Jordan Reed's out. Vernon Davis is out. Josh Doctson will play in this game. I think their offense is just too hurt. Their defense is not going to be able to carry them in this game. Also for Tennessee, Ryan Arakpo is out. Colwick is out. David Fullen's out. So they have some guys out. Tajay Sharp will play. So I think that Tennessee will win this game because overall they have a better team. I know Washington's defense is ranked decently, but to me, in my opinion, I think that Tennessee will win this game. I think Tennessee has a lot to play for. Washington, they can make the playoffs, but without the first starting quarterback, their second quarterback, now their third quarterback who they benched for their fourth string quarterback who hasn't done the past in 5 years. I just think Tennessee will win this game. I don't think Washington. I think their season's over. Let's go with the Ravens at the Chargers. I think that the Chargers may pull away with the game. Now, the Chargers are 11-3, and they've clinched a playoff berth. So they really don't have anything to play for except for, just having a good record. But I think Baltimore could win this game because if they're 8-6, then they'll go to 9-6, and their playoff hopes will still be alive. So I think that the Ravens will win this game. I'm gonna pick the Ravens. The Ravens have an elite defense. Some guys on the Chargers are hurt. Austin Eckler is hurt. Shane Cooklin's hurt. Wide receiver Keenan Allen is still basically a game time decision. Nick Boyle, Alex Lewis, Matthew Judon, Anthony Levine are questionable in this game for the Ravens. So a lot of these guys are not out. So if all these guys are basically healthy, they might basically all play. So if the Ravens, if they have everybody, I think that their defense will be able to stop Phillip Rivers, and they'll probably cause him to throw some interceptions in this. But the only thing that I think that's ranked, I don't think their passing game, the Ravens' passing game is not ranked high. I think they're 20th in the league in passing. So with that being said, the Chargers defense with Derwin James in that secondary will be able to hold Lamar Jackson. He's not really throwing the football, at least not yet in his career. So I think that the Chargers defense come out swinging. They start running the ball. I think that the Ravens will pull away with the W. Now we have the Buccaneers at the Cowboys. The only person who's on injury report for the Buccaneers is Deshaun Jackson. For the Cowboys, Jeff Swan, David Irving are out. Tavon Austin. I think they need him more for the return game, but they don't really need Tavon Austin. I know Zach Martin, he might not play. Sean Lee hamstrings on there. Anthony Brown, cornerback hand is questionable. A lot of these guys are questionable. I think in this game, I think Tampa Bay can take the victory. Jameis Winston just has to stay poised. Do not throw any interceptions. I think that the Buccaneers could come away with the victory. But Jameis Winston has to protect the football. You guys know I like Jameis Winston. I think he's a good quarterback. I know the comments. He has interceptions. It's just been a lot. It's been a lot for that team, but they still have a top 5 offense in the league. Now, Dallas does have a top 5 defense, but because the way they got shut out at Indianapolis, and the Colts don't really have I don't think they have a top 5 defense. So for them to get shut out, I think that the Buccaneers will pull away. They're 5-9. Cowboys 8-6. I think the Cowboys will lose this game, go 8-7, and then they'll go to New York and probably win. That'll be for next week. But the Buccaneers will win this game if Jameis Winston just keeps the ball, doesn't throw any interceptions. To me, they have to score quickly and they have to be effective. Now let's move on to the Bills, the Patriots. I'm taking the Patriots. The Bills corner Ryan Lewis he has a concussion. He's out. Running back Chris Ivory questionable in this game. And the Patriots linebacker Brandon King is questionable, but he might play. So I'm going with the Patriots. They're 9-5. They're going to be 10-5. I know they lost Josh Gordon. Hope he gets well soon. But me in this game, I'm picking the Patriots. They're gonna be 10-5. The Buffalo Bills will go to 5-10 on the season. They still have a pretty good future with Josh Allen at quarterback. He just has to stop running the ball and actually start passing the football. Now let's go to the Falcons at the Panthers. I think the Falcons are gonna win this game. Now Julio Jones, his hips, ribs, he's questionable. I think he might play. Cam Newton's out, and Kawan Short calf is questionable. Cam Newton's out for the rest of the year. 2 weeks ago, the Falcons are going to win this. The Panthers are going to be 6-9 at the end of this, and the Falcons will be 6-9. So they're both going to be 6-9 because I think that the Panthers are going to lose 6-9. Right now they're 6-8, so they're going to be 6-9. And then the Falcons will win and be 6-9. The offense is too much. The Carolina's defense is not going to be able to stop Atlanta Falcons. Nobody can cover Julio. I'm sorry, nobody's going to be able to cover Julio. I'm going with the Falcons. Let's move on to the Jaguars at the Dolphins. The Jaguars are 4-10. The Dolphins are 7-7. I've wanted the Jaguars to succeed. You guys know I did a video on my channel last year about the Jaguars. And it's just sad because I know their quarterback play is horrible. And once your quarterback play is horrible, your defense is going to be out there on the field for way too long, being exhausted every single week. So I just think that, oh man, this is a tough one, but I think that the Dolphins will win this game. I really do. I think the Dolphins will beat their state rival, so to say. So I think the Dolphins will end up 8-7, and the Jaguars will be 4-11 on the season. Next up, we have the Giants at the Colts. The Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham's out. They don't have any wide receivers on the Giants except for Sterling Shepard and Evan Ingram at tight end. This has been not a really good season for New York. They're 5-9. I mean, they've went on a winning streak and won some games, but Russell Shepard his ankle. Their center's out. Alex Ogletree's out. The only person for Indianapolis is going to be out as Clayton Gathers is out. So wide receiver T.Y. Hilton was limited in practice on Friday, so he's probably most likely going to play. That's probably going to be a game time decision. So in this game, I'm going with the Colts. The Giants defense is not that good. They're done. Landon Collins is out for the season. He had his surgery, so I'm going with the Colts to win this game. They're going to be 9-6, and the Giants will be 5-10. Next up, we have the Texans at the Eagles, 7-7. The Eagles 10-4 is the Texans. I'm picking. Oh man, this game is going to be tough, but I'm going to go for an upset. I'm going to go with the Eagles to go 8-7, and then the Cowboys might lose, and the Eagles might be back on top. And if not, then as you guys know, Carson Wentz is out. Lamar Miller and Kiki Kati is out in this game for the Texans. So in this game, I think that if the Eagles defense doesn't get to Deshaun Watson, I think that the Texans will win. But if the Eagles gets through the Texans offensive line, the Eagles will win this game. But I'm going to pick the Eagles to win this game. The Texans might be 10-5, and if they win, they'll be 11-4. And if the Eagles lose, they'll be 7-8. Most likely knocked out of the playoffs. If Washington loses, they'll probably still have a chance to get in. But we'll see. I'm going with the Eagles in this game. Next up, we have the Vikings at the Lions. The Vikings are 7-6-1. The Lions are 5-9. Lions season is over. They have a lot of guys who are They have two guys that are out: Bruce Ellington and Charles Washington. LeGarrette Blount is questionable, along with Devin Kennard, Damon Harrison. They're all questionable. Matthew Stafford is questionable also, and the Vikings linebacker Eric Kendricks is out, but that won't really matter. The Vikings are playing for something. I think they still can get to the playoffs. They're 7-6-1. They're going to be 8-6-1, and the Lions will be 5-10. See you next year. We have the Packers at the Jets. Now the Packers they have not won a road game all year. They're 5-8-1, and the Jets are 4-10. I think the Jets could get the upset, but I think Aaron Rodgers will finally win a road game. I think the Packers are most likely going to win the game. I know it says that Quincy Enunwa is out. Kenny Clark, Will Redmond are out for the Packers. Randall Cobb concussion, and Jason Spriggs is doubtful. And wide receiver Jake Kumrul is hand questionable. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pick the Jets in this game. I'm going with the Jets. I think the Jets are going to win this game. They have too many injuries. It's only going to be Devontae Adams and Jimmy Graham. And I think they just put their running back. They put him on IR. So I'm going to go with the Jets with the upset here The Bengals at the Browns. I'm going with the Browns to win this game. The Bengals don't have nothing to play for. The Browns do. The Browns can make it go to the playoffs if things go their way. So in this game, Bengals wide receiver Tyler Boyd, linebacker Jordan Evans, cornerback Tony McRae. Just a lot of injuries on this team are out. Vontaze Burfict, he has concussion, he's questionable, but if I'm Marvin Lewis, I take him out. The Browns are going to win this game. They have something to play for. They're on a roll right now. They're actually a very, very good team. They're coming up in the ranks. So I think the Browns are going to win this game. And also, the Browns, when they win this game, will be 7-1, and then the Bengals will be 6-10. The Bengals have nothing to play for. If I'm a betting person, I'm taking the Browns. Why would you take Cincinnati? Now, the Rams at the Cardinals. I'm taking the Rams. Sorry, I'm taking the Rams. Todd Gurley is doubtful, basically, and Justin Davis, running back, is questionable. And with the Cardinals, everybody on the injury report is questionable, but the Rams are too good. The Rams are going to win this game. The Cardinals are 3-11. They're going to be 3-12, and the Rams are 11-3. They're going to be 12-3. Season's over for the Cardinals. We're going to try again next year. I'm taking the Rams. I'm taking the Rams. Bears at the 49ers. I'm taking the Bears. Going to be 11-4, and the 49ers are going to be 4-11. The Bears are still playing to basically capture, to keep that. I think they can, if they play and the Saints somehow lose the next two games, they might not be able to get first seed if they lose two more, which is this week and next week. I'm not really sure about how the rankings is right now, but the Bears should win in a landslide. Now the Bears have Anthony Lynn, Eddie Jackson are doubtful, and 49ers, Tart is out. Jaquez Tart, I think that's how you say his name. He's out, so I'm picking the Bears to win this game. They're going to be 11-4. 49ers, like I said, 4-11 on the season. They lost their quarterback, so nobody's expecting them to do anything after that. So the Bears will win this game. Next up, we have the Steelers at the Saints. The Steelers are 8-5-1. The Saints are 12-2. Now, this game is tough. James Conner's out. Juju Smith-Schuster I think he's going to play. And offensive tackle Jerome Bushwood for the Saints are out. The rest of the team, I think, is going to be healthy. This game is going to be tough. I think the Steelers are going to win this game. I think they're going to go to 9-5-1, and the Saints will go to 12-3. Still not a bad season. I know they've been getting slowed down, in the past couple weeks, but they'll bounce back in time for the playoffs. But I think that the Steelers will win this game. I don't think that Marshawn Lattimore is going to be able to cover Antonio Brown in this matchup. I have the Steelers win this game. If the Saints win, I'm not going to be shocked. Now we have the Sunday Night Football action with the Chiefs and the Seahawks. And the thing is, the Chiefs are at Seahawks. I'm going to take the Chiefs. I'm going to take the Seahawks. I'm taking the Seahawks in this game. Now, I said in the last video that I don't think the Chiefs would lose another game this season, but they're in Seattle. It's hard to win in Seattle. Russell Wilson, in primetime games, it has a very, very, very good record. So I'm going with the Seahawks. They're going to be 9-6, and hopefully they'll get the last playoff seeding. And the Chiefs will be 11-4, but it won't really hurt them because they'll win next week's game. I think they play the Raiders, so they'll win next week's game and be 12-4. It's not too bad. So, like I said, the Chiefs at the Seahawks. I'm going with the Seahawks. Sammy Watkins is out. Spencer Ware hamstring is doubtful. Kendall Fuller thumb is questionable. I think he's not playing. I don't think he's going to play. Maybe Seahawks safety Tedrick Thompson is out. Rashad Penny, Jerron Reed, Bradley McDonald, all these guys and Shaquille Griffin are questionable. Like I said, the Seahawks are going to win. I think that playing in Seattle is just too hard. So, like I said, in this matchup, I'm going with Seattle to win the game. Thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, please put a thumbs up. If you have anything, who you think is going to win, put it in the comment section below. I'll be back on more videos. I'll actually be back with Monday Night Football action with the Raiders at the Broncos. I'll be doing the predictions for that game tomorrow. But until next time, guys, I'll see you guys with more videos. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching. Peace.